We finally make it to Michigan and instantly fall in love with this beautiful and historic part of the state.
Welcome to Michigan!
The first place we're going to explore in Michigan is the Keweenaw Peninsula, and this is the northernmost point of the Upper Peninsula. We have 2 full days to explore this area. There's a lot of historical stuff here, but today we're going to focus on kind of the natural beauty. As in most of Michigan, this area gets a ton of snow, so we've made a quick stop to see just how much snow this area gets.
They got 390.4 inches of snow. I love snow, but not that much. Imagine how cold it was.
Again, we're suckers for baked goods, and we have heard nothing but good things about the Jampot. It's run by Byzantine monks, and we've heard that the food here is ridiculously good, and we are excited. Wow, that place smells amazing.
You pull into the parking lot and open the door and it's just waft of sugar. It's so good.
And yeast. Oh boy.
So we got a couple of muffins to try later, and they had something we didn't know they had.
Maine blueberry soda.
We discovered these when we were in Maine a couple years ago, and oh,
it's so good.
It's so expensive, but it's so good.
But it is so worth it.
It's very dense, but very moist.
Mm-hmm.
And that coffee frosting, that'll wake you up.
Jacobs Falls is located right next to the bakery, but it's just off the side of the road, so no chance to hike off some of those calories. The Eagle Harbor Lighthouse was built in 1871 and was automated in 1980, removing the need for a lighthouse keeper. Its iconic 44-foot-tall red and white tower make it stand out along the rugged shoreline. Built during the Great Depression to boost tourism in the Keweenaw region, Brockway Mountain Drive is a 9-mile winding road along the ridge of the mountain. Reaching 1,300 feet above sea level, it offers panoramic views of Lake Superior and the surrounding hills. Near the end of the drive is the Copper Harbor Lookout, with sweeping vistas of the town and the tip of the peninsula.
I like geographical oddities, kind of weird things, and Copper Harbor is unique because in the lower 48 states, it's the farthest town from an interstate highway.
We have really been enjoying our time on the Keweenaw so far today. We have been shocked at the crowds. There's almost nobody here, but it's the day after Labor Day, so I guess families with kids have gone back to school. So we are enjoying the cooler weather. We're starting to see little pops of color in the tips of the trees. So we're here at Fort Wilkins State Park. This is a very popular attraction on the peninsula. So we're gonna go check this one out.
The U.S. Army built this fort in 1844, right after the discovery of copper in the area. Now, the federal government had bought all of this land from the Ojibwe people, but there was still some concern that there was going to be such a big mining boom here, that there would be a lot of conflict between the miners and the Ojibwe people, that they built the fort, and it turned out there was no real conflict at all, and this fort was only used from 1844 to 1846. And then all of the soldiers were deported from here and sent to go fight in the Mexican-American War.
A soldier's life at Fort Wilkins was marked by isolation and the challenges of the frontier. The majority of soldiers lived in tight quarters, and the barracks were heated by wood stoves. Kaylee loved the hands-on exhibits that gave a glimpse into what life here was like.
Careful, that chimney might suck you up.
No!
It happened in Mary Poppins.
A sutler store was run by an authorized civilian merchant who sold many items not provided by the Army. These goods offered some relief from the rations the soldiers normally received and were often a source of comfort and variety.
To make bread for the 120 soldiers stationed here in 1844, the baker used 100 pounds of flour, 7 gallons of water, 1 gallon of yeast, and 1.5 pounds of salt. Each man received a daily ration of 1 18-ounce loaf. I could eat this in a day.
The only practical method of getting the temperature of an oven is to insert the hand well into it and count the number of seconds that you are able to keep it there. Ow.
Just across the road from the fort is a rocky beach with a view of the Eagle Harbor Lighthouse, one of the oldest lighthouses on Lake Superior. We ended our busy day with a short stop at Eagle Falls and wondered if every day in Michigan would be this incredible.
Good morning. We're in Calumet, considered to be the heart of the Keweenaw Peninsula. And we're here at the Keweenaw National Historical Park in Calumet. And we're going to check out a little bit of the history of the area, in particular, mining.
America's first major mining boom happened here in Michigan's Upper Peninsula when copper was discovered in the 1840s. This led to a huge influx of immigrants from around the world to work in the mines. The mine at Calumet was one of the most successful in the area, and nearly 30,000 people lived in the region at its peak.
What about that one up there?
An iron.
It's an iron, good. Okay, what is this right here? Bread.
A toaster.
It's a toaster,
What?
That's right.
What about the ceramic pot?
This one, what is this?
That looks like a drinking pot or I don't know.
It is not a drinking pot.
Oh, it's a pea pot.
It's a pea pot, it's
That's
a chamber
right.
pot. Glad we don't have those anymore.
A mixture of architectural styles reflected the diversity of Calumet's population. Red Jacobsville sandstone, found only on the Upper Peninsula, was used in many of the buildings. During a time of labor unrest in 1913, someone yelled fire in the crowded Italian hall, leading to a stampede that killed 73 people, including 59 children. The building was demolished in 1984, but the site remains a place of remembrance for those who died.
Let's go underground.
So a huge part of the history of the Keweenaw Peninsula was all the copper mining that happened here in the mid-1800s all the way up to the mid-1900s. And we've chosen to tour Delaware copper mine because, unlike most of the mines in the area, you get to do a self-guided tour, so it's at your own pace. Let's go. I'm excited to wear a jacket because it's how many degrees?
43 degrees down in there year-round, so it's a little chilly.
About 8 million pounds of copper were taken from this mine, which reached over 1,400 feet deep.
This was a power drill, but they didn't come out with these until the 19-teens. And back in the 1800s, when they were doing most of the mining in here, they were having to do it all by hand. So you would have a 3-man team. You would have one guy holding a chisel with his bare hands and 2 other men striking the chisel with 12-pound sledgehammers to bore a hole into the rock. And then they would stick dynamite into it, blow the rock up, and then they would put all of that ore into a skip, a car, that would then take it to the surface where it would be processed. Hard, dangerous work, and they only got paid 14 to 21 cents per hour.
Tell me what the green is.
It's oxidized copper.
The ore that they were mining here was considered back in that time to be pretty rich in copper, but it was only 1.5% copper. 98.5% of what they were mining here was just rock that wasn't worth really anything.
One cool thing they do here is as you go further into the shaft of the mine, they gradually dim the lights, and by the time you get to the end, it mimics what it would have been like when the miners were working by candlelight. And we learned on this trip that they actually took the cost of the candles out of the pay of the miners. So they were actually encouraged not to use very much light. I don't think I would have been a good miner.
In these buildings, ore was crushed so the copper could be separated from the rock and shipped for further processing. Steam-powered machinery was used to bring miners, ore, and equipment through the mine shafts.
In the early stages of mining here, everything was done by hand. But in the later stages, they would use machinery, and most of that machinery was powered through compressed air. And this was a 2-stage air compressor that they used to achieve that. And as big as this is, it was actually considered to be a small air compressor. Some of the bigger ones built at the time were up to 3,000 horsepower. Even though it's called the Keweenaw Peninsula, technically it's an island. This waterway that you see over here actually cuts across the entirety of the peninsula, and you have to cross that bridge back there to be able to get onto the peninsula, which is actually an island. But I guess it was a peninsula at one point in time, and the name has just stuck. The main reason we're here is for our daughter, Kaylee. We try to choose activities that she will enjoy as well as us, but she loves getting to play with other kids. It's one of her most fun things to do in the world, just to be able to find some other kids to be able to go out and play with. So we've stopped at a little playground here in Houghton, Michigan, called Chutes and Ladders. And it's kind of like the Chutes and Ladders board game come to life. It's pretty neat. They've got stairs all over the place. They've got several big slides from different places. It's pretty cool. And there are a few other kids here, and she's just having a ball getting to go out and play with them. It's so much fun. I think I may need to inspect it for quality control purposes, of course. Wow, that was legit. RV life might seem to be just an endless vacation, wonderful thing after wonderful thing. And sometimes it's that way, and sometimes it's not. And one of the biggest drawbacks is having to hitch and unhitch in the rain. And it looks like it's going to be raining all day long today, but we're not going to complain. The land needs the rain, and we are glad for it. It's just that it's not the most fun thing in the world to have to work in. It has rained all day long. Rained and rained and rained, like pretty hard most of the day.
But rain on traveling days is not too bad. It's better than when it's on a touring day. So this was a driving day anyway. And we finally made it to a campground here. We were not planning on spending the night here, but when our stabilizer broke last week, we had to have somewhere to ship it to, and this campground was really sweet in accepting the package. It was delivered just a couple hours ago.
So hopefully this, prayerfully, this installation will be pretty simple. It's just a matter of bolting it on, making a couple of quick electrical connections, and then testing it out to see if it works.
I've got faith in him. I think he can do it.
This is the new stabilizer jack. That's the motor for it, and then this is the part that goes up and down inside this tube here. And this is what was just warped out to like here. There was no way that was going to be able to be straightened back out. All right, so it is installed.
Moment of truth.
Yay! It's moving! Woo!
Success.
Now you can hit auto level. That is Angela's favorite button on this RV.
Are you happy?
Wow, I am happy. Hallelujah. Thank you, God.
Well, that's a huge weight lifted.
Well, the rain must have chased everybody away. It's 50 degrees this morning. We are here at Palmsbrook State Park. This is the home of Kitch-iti-kipi. This is Michigan's largest freshwater spring. It actually means big spring. And as you can see from the parking lot, there's nobody here. This opens at 8. We're here about 2 minutes till, and the state park ranger just unlocked the gate, so we are going to get to ride on the self-propelled raft that goes across the spring.
The water's blue! Looks green!
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Exciting.
Oh my goodness.
The water's... Water.
This
I
is
know.
amazing.
That is so cool.
We had no idea you could see so clearly into the water.
So cool.
Yeah.
Look at that
I wore
water.
my lucky blue earrings just so that it would match the color of the water.
Daddy, now you have to do it.
Kitch-iti-kipi pumps out over 10,000 gallons of water every minute. The temperature of the water is about 45 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, which is perfect for the trout that call the spring home.
It's a good thing I work out.
Uh-huh. This is so much fun. We're doing it a second time.
This place is so cool. There's so many fish here.
The water is so clear you can see his little feet just paddling underwater. So, tip, when you're taking a photograph over the edge of the raft, make sure you hold on to your hat.
She dropped her hat
In the spring.
And who had to go over the side of the boat on the edge and rescue it for her? Yeah, I had to stand on that platform right there to be able to grab it for her. And of course we didn't get it on film because we were trying to hurry up and grab it so it doesn't sink and we turned into litter bugs. Well, I think Kitch-iti-kipi was a big thumbs up or a big hats off for Angela.
Literally, hang on to your hats.
Good morning. Angela is not very excited today because we're going to be crossing the mighty the Mackinac Bridge. It's very big, very long, and Angela doesn't like being high over water for long periods of time. Praying that she will be at peace and that it will go well for her.
Shortly before we cross the 5-mile Mackinac Bridge, we learn that there is an annual tractor crossing event the Saturday after Labor Day.
Look at all the tractors coming. That's fun.
The crossing has been a tradition since 2007 when it was started by a group of tractor enthusiasts. Over 1,000 modern and antique tractors of all sizes participate, and some are brought in by trailer from as far away as Alaska. This event has become a much-loved celebration of Michigan's agricultural heritage.
That was so cool.
Yes.
And not as scary as I thought because the speed limit is 45 and you're not going so fast. But the tractors were a really good distraction.
The tractors were so cool,
And he
all
just-
sizes.
Yeah,
and
he just wanted me to film the whole time, so I wasn't focused on the bridge and how high up we were.
so much fun. Welcome to the Lower Peninsula.
Yay!
Now we're in the Mitten.
We'll be here for a couple weeks and we'll have to cross the bridge again when we go back up into the UP for hopefully some really awesome fall colors.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Join us down the road for Bavarian fun, food, and festivities in Michigan's Frankenmuth. And until next time, enjoy your journey.